You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Oh, hi, it's Dalby with the Saturday episode of the Brock and Dalby Podcast. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's still crazy to think that we are now over 100 episodes in. But, we appreciate you guys spending your time with us when we're doing the show, Monday through Friday, all across the Rogers Radio Network. And then, of course, right here on the podcast each and every day throughout the week, and then some bonus stuff on the weekends. It means a lot that you will welcome us into your lives with whatever it is that we're doing and whatever it is you're doing at the time that you're listening. We really appreciate it. So thank you. If you want more, don't forget, we've got an Instagram page. Just search Brock and Dalby on Instagram. We have a Facebook page. You can follow us on there. We haven't built like a subreddit or anything. I don't know. Do you guys want a subreddit? Let us know in something. And maybe we'll build that. Wherever you guys want us to be, we will be there because we love hanging out with you guys. Lots to get to on the Saturday episode of the podcast. Let's start with one of Brock's best song impressions for his Text Us Tuesday song this week.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
If you send us a text 762-555, ask anything and we'll try to reply. Send us a text, there's no rules over here. 762-555, send a text to us now.
How do you even get to that voice?
That wasn't me. That was Billy Corgan.
Oh, sorry.
That was clearly Billy Corgan.
That's who I was talking to.
Yeah. A lot of people asking, why do I hate Billy Corgan? I don't hate Billy Corgan.
No, it's just listen. If you listen to the Smashing Pumpkins, if you know Billy Corgan, if you listen to his interviews, that's what he sounds like. Mm-hmm. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. That's just the thing.
He also kind of looks like the guy from, what's the Minions movie called?
Gru? Despicable Me?
He kind of looks like him too, doesn't he?
Does look. If you put a
he's
black
got a scarf and everything.
If you put a black and gray striped scarf on him and a long black coat, he could very much. I don't know if he's got the nose for it, but he's close.
Despicable Pumpkins. Someone said if you had to compete in one Olympic sport and you had 4 years to train, which one do you think you would do the best in?
I mean, I'm just thinking about like at my age, you know.
I'd say 100-meter dash because it's over the fastest.
So I don't think I'd do the best in
No, but it's done.
It would be done.
It's done, yeah.
I honestly think if you gave me 4 years and the financing to dedicate to just training for one event, I think I could get in shape and do the race walk.
Yeah?
I think that is the least physically intense, like...
I'd say the air pistol, man.
Oh, the shooting.
If you had 4 years and you had someone actually train you how to shoot, that's probably the one. You don't really need, I mean, I'm sure there obviously is fitness to it, but...
Yeah. No, but you're right. That is
probably
the one where you could, because like to do any kind of the athletic events, I would have to lose weight, build muscle, and the motion for whatever the event is. That's why I was saying race walking is like, I know how to walk.
Yeah.
But you're right. To stand still, hold, shoot, I do have the shakes. But I think you're right. 4 years training, I think I could do it.
I think that's probably, like, for anyone,
yeah.
I think that's probably the easiest one.
Maybe the archery would be in there as well.
And I know some people are going to be offended by saying shooting's easy.
Oh, no.
But anybody can get a gun.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm definitely not implying that it would be easy to do, but I think if I had 4 years, I don't have to work my job. Like, my 9 to 5 is getting better at shooting. I think I do pretty good at shooting.
Easily.
I think anybody could.
Someone texted and said, how many people is too many people in one tent? I mean, it depends on the size of the tent, I guess. But then again, I've slept in tents that are supposed to be for 6 people, and you most definitely can't get 6 people in there.
I don't want to touch anybody. That's just it.
Yeah.
Unless me and someone are sharing a sleeping bag and intending to sleep together, I don't want to touch anybody. So if we're in there, and say there's 3 of us, if we're laying side by side and nobody's touching, then that's okay for the tent. As soon as our shoulders touch, we have to get one person out.
I think
that's too many people.
Tents, like however many people it says on the bag, it's the opposite of like serving sizes. Like Kraft Dinner says it's for a family of 4. You can take that down in one person.
Yeah.
If it says it's a tent for 4 people, that's a tent for 2 people.
Yeah, I think cut it in half. Maybe minus 2. Yeah, take 2. Because even like you said, like a 6-person tent, you could fit 4 in there.
Yeah.
And also, I will say, it depends on the person. Like, me and another me in a 2-person tent, not having a good time. You and another you in a 2-person tent, probably pretty comfortable.
You could kind of like American Pie method. It's still body count. So
Yeah.
divide by 3, add by 3, whatever it is. Who's your favorite bald guy of all time?
Ooh.
Stone Cold?
Stone Cold's definitely up there for top bald guys. Also, shout out to Steve Harvey. Been doing bald for a long time.
He had a hairpiece for a long time, too.
He did, but I mean, now he's accepted it. He's owning it. He's rocking it. Makes it look good.
Statham?
Statham's tough to attain, though.
He's not full bald, though. He kind of keeps a little bit of shadow on the back
He
of the
leaves
head.
a little stubble on there. Like,
yeah.
you could strike a match on the top of his head.
Who's someone that did go bald, but you don't think of them being bald? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Matt Sundin for me. Remember when Sundin went bald those last
That was
few years?
tough,
It's
yeah.
weird seeing photos of him, yeah.
I still think of The Rock as The Rock from wrestling, who had that black patch of hair.
Oh, yeah.
From front to back. Like, I know he's been bald ever since he turned into the Incredible Hulk.
but you think of him with hair?
I still think of him from the old wrestling days more so. So I think of him as someone who had hair. And also, if I'm being honest, we're a lot of wrestlers in this category. I know Hulk Hogan is quote unquote bald, but I still think of the hair that flaps out from under the bandana. So I don't think of him as being fully bald.
He was bandana fishing everyone for the longest time.
100%.
And then 5 minutes into that fight, it came
As
off.
soon as The Undertaker hit him with that first right hand and the bandana came off, a lot of people were like, whoa, okay.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
A man in Iowa just broke the Guinness World Record for the largest eggplant.
The largest egg. Now, we're just like an actual eggplant, like the actual vegetable.
Yeah,
Right.
why? What would you be thinking of?
Well, just, hey, you never know, right? You just do, maybe it's like an emoji or so you had a big phone, big tablet.
Is
or
that what that
something.
emoji is used for?
For eggplants, yeah. It represents eggplants.
Huh.
Nothing else.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking too.
Okay.
Guy got the Guinness World Record for the largest eggplant. It's over 8.3 pounds.
Damn.
28 inches in circumference.
In like 28 inches around?
Look at this girthy SOB.
Yeah, that looks like a pumpkin. Like, that legitimately looks like that man's holding a purple pumpkin. Damn.
Yeah,
Well
it
done,
is,
sir.
the girthiest eggplant of all time.
Also, can I just say, man has a mustache worthy of an eggplant that big.
He kind of looks like Sam Elliott.
He
doesn't
does have a little Sam Elliott going on to him. Like, if Sam Elliott retired from voice work and acting and just was like, I'm going to focus on farming.
Oh, yeah. I'm always curious what people do with these world record, like, plants, vegetables,
Like,
stuff
at some
like
point,
that.
you got to eat it, right? It'll go bad eventually.
I guess? Or do you preserve it?
I don't know. Yeah, put it in resin?
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's got to be such a big accomplishment, and then
Right.
is it satisfying to...
What do you do with that much eggplant? I've never had that much eggplant in my life, so I don't know.
You and me both, brother.
I don't know what to do with it.
You
if
and
I got,
me both.
If I got my hands on it.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast. Would you rather? Wednesday. Would you rather Wednesday?
I asked for one request. Nobody listened to me, but that's okay. I said, don't bring up the roast beef thing, and then here we are with a bunch of roast beef texts.
Do you know who the first person to not listen to you was? Was yourself. There was no need to bring it up. This was not a thing people were still talking about.
Well, my therapist said not to listen to the voices in my head, so...
It had fully died, and you brought it back. So go ahead, read your questions.
Someone said, would you rather smell like Dalby, or would you rather eat 50 nuggets and get a chicken nugget tattoo?
Oh my God, that's been 3 years, hasn't it? That's crazy.
I mean, I don't hate the tattoo. People think I hate the butt nugget.
Yeah, honestly, I think out of
growing on me.
the two things that you had to do, which was eat 50 chicken nuggets in one sitting,
Yeah.
and get a butt tattoo, the worst of the two was eating the 50 chicken nuggets.
The only people that ever see it is anyone who ever sees me shower at the gym,
Right.
or at hockey,
Yeah.
or my girlfriend. If you see me naked, then you see it. But if you see Dalby, you smell the beef. So I'll take my tattoo.
I don't smell like beef.
Not today, just the one day last week.
I've never smelled like beef.
Just the one day
never
last
been
week.
a thing. You're a monster.
Here's one specifically for you.
Okay.
Someone said, would you rather continue to smell like roast beef or work by yourself?
This is unfair because it's a flawed question. I can't continue to smell like roast beef if I never smelled like roast beef.
Well, answer the question.
And I will say that my career has gone to heights never before I thought of since we teamed up.
Okay.
But some days I think about what it would be like if I never met you.
So what's the answer?
The beef thing, I guess.
There we go. There we go. Look, he's man enough to admit it.
I don't know. That's not what I said. You're a real dick, you know that?
Here's a humble one. Someone said, would you rather be super rich but you give half to a person in need, or be poor and a rich person gives you half of his money?
I think I would rather be rich and give because then you're in control, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would rather know where my next meal is coming from, my bills are paid, all those, and then decide to give the excess to where it can help people.
Yeah.
As opposed to living in a very disadvantaged situation.
Rich people do weird stuff, too.
That's the other thing.
Some guy's giving you money. What are you doing for it is the real question.
Even look at that. What's that YouTube dude, the Mr. Beast that like gives people money and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
He makes people do ridiculous things on his videos before he'll give them the money.
Yeah.
I would much rather be rich and generous than having to dance through hoops.
It'd be way nicer to help someone than to be somebody's monkey dancing.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to find any that are not beef related.
Well, here's an honest one. Would you rather punch me in the face or would you rather pull my tongue out so I can't speak?
Okay,
Either are is an HR problem. Let's see how you answer this.
First of all, I'm not putting my hand in your mouth. And under any circumstances, I'm not putting my hand in your mouth. I've never wanted to punch you. I will say that. We get a lot of these texts when you start like giving me the gears or we go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But like, why don't you just hit him? And it's like, I think y'all need to get some therapy.
Yeah.
Like, we're friends. We rib each other. You frustrate me.
Yeah.
But I've never been like, I'm going to catch you by your car.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
You also know if you hit me, you're going to bring that dog out here.
Brother, you winced cracking your knuckles. I don't know what you're talking about.
I haven't got enough fights since the 8th grade.
Yeah, oh, dude. Other than pro wrestling, yeah, it's like high school.
Would you rather have no fingernails or no eyelashes? I feel like no eyelashes.
Yeah, fingernails are like structurally important, is my understanding. Like, fingernails are annoying, hangnails and ingrown nail, like all that stuff, but I've seen enough Instagram models. I can draw eyebrows on. I feel like you need fingernails.
Eyelashes.
Oh, eyelashes.
Yeah.
Oh, get rid of them. I don't even notice them.
Yeah.
They just get stuff gunked up in there.
They're just a burden. They get in my eye all the time anyway.
I'm sure, just based on, human design, that my eyelashes serve a function, but it's not one that I'm aware of.
If you don't have eyelashes, then does that mean every time you cut your fingernails, you can throw them and make a wish?
Please don't confetti your fingernails. That goes to anyone out there listening. Never do that, eyelashes or no.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
News story came out of Australia a while back about a guy and a gal that broke up. Well, you know what? The news crew from Australia does a pretty good job of summing it up. Let me play this for you.
Jessica dumping her cheating boyfriend. As payback, he's plastered her phone number around town, advertising a Chewbacca roaring competition, promising a $100 prize for the best one.
Well, I'm getting phone calls at really strange hours of the night, about 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock, eh? If there's anyone out there that can do the real Chewbacca sound, I might marry ya.
Yeah, that's brilliant, man. So what, he took his ex-girlfriend's number because she broke up with him and just made like ads?
He cheated. She broke up with him. He felt somehow wronged in this, took her phone number and was like, hey, if you can do a Chewbacca roaring noise, leave it as a voicemail here.
Dude, that's the modern day equivalent of putting someone's phone number in a bathroom call for a good time.
For a good time, yeah.
That's amazing.
You know what? Can I say this? This made me think of you.
Oh, the thing I used to do?
The thing you used to do. You want to tell people what you used to do with my phone number?
So you know how, like, if you go to On Routes, Canadian Tires, wherever, they've got those little auction things at the front. It'll be like, I don't know, a photo of ducks, or maybe it's like a Connor McDavid photo or whatever it is.
Boston Pizza was the one that called me most, that I won at most often.
Because when my dad lived in Grimsby, we'd always go to Boston Pizza, and they'd always have one there. So what I would do is I'd always fill out Dalby's name, put his phone number in some outrageous bid every single time.
It's crazy how many auctions I won with never stepping foot in the building.
Which I know is a dick move there for charity, but I've moved on from you, and I do it to a few other buddies now.
Oh, thank you. I honestly appreciate
Only
that.
one of them has caught on so far.
Really?
It's the best, because Dalby came in here one morning, and he's like, "Here, I keep getting these calls. I don't know about an auction."
I came into work confiding in one of my best friends about this weird thing that's been happening to me lately, only to see your smile get bigger and bigger.
Dude, it's a great prank, man. Honestly, it's well worth it. I saw a thing online where there was a guy, and he said, anyone who cuts me off in traffic, I follow them home, find their address, and then I post online that they're having an open house.
Damn, that is excessive.
I'm sure it was just a TikTok, but that's an evil and amazing idea.
It really is. It's great revenge. It's a little far for my taste, but that is the thing. Is like, if you dislike somebody, I mean, even I'll say this unethical life hack: if you hate one of your coworkers
or your boss,
you know their email. The things that you can do with a person's email, the sites you can sign them up for, the newsletters you can sign them up for.
Even with the address thing, I mean, like, if you got a buddy and say he just moved in with a girlfriend, or they just moved in, they just got married or whatever, you could sign them up for subscriptions. Things that show up at the house on a regular basis.
What the hell is this doing here?
Yeah, I mean,
he's got to answer questions.
Classic old prank I know people used to do in college was order pizza to the house beside us.
Oh. Just to mess with them.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. If you have people's information, you can do a lot. Now, it does scale from fairly harmless to fairly harmful.
Sure.
But there is that sweet spot in the middle.
Yeah.
Where with the Ducks Unlimited thing, where it is just funny.
Oh, absolutely.
In the end, somebody else wins the auction. We have a good laugh. No one actually gets hurt. Those are the best pranks.
Try it out for yourself. Write $1,000 on every auction sheet that you find. They're going to get called every single time.
And
you're the one that sounds like the bad guy on the phone, so that's the best part about
100%, because they have no idea who you are. At no point was I on the phone and they're like, oh, you won this thing. And I'm like, oh, actually what happened was my friend Brock, who lives at this address.
And they're on the phone and they're like, well, you don't care about charity, Dalby?
Oh, so you're not going to give us this money
you
then?
don't
Is
like
that what
charity?
You just decided to get our hopes up?
Someone just said send someone flower order who's married with a custom note saying I still miss you.
Oh my God.
It's
okay.
amazing.
That goes into the evil category. You have tipped the scales. You are on the dark side. You should definitely not be doing that to people that you like. People that you hate? That's a different story.
Yeah, it's a great way to ruin an ex's day, honestly.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
That's all I got today.
You surprised yourself on that one, I think.
That's all I got today. Whew. Took the wind out of my sails there. First one I want to start off with here is, can you tell my coworker Steve to blow his friggin' nose?
You know what the
So
thing
you got the
is?
sniffles and you keep doing the...
That's the thing. Is like when you have the sniffles or you've got something in your nose that could easily be solved, but just blowing your nose and you're annoying everybody. The thing is you know. Like, nobody has ever been sitting there and like, oh, am I sniffling? I didn't even realize. You're uncomfortable. You're not happy. Go blow your friggin' nose.
I think you like the attention if you're not blowing your nose, actually.
Maybe that's it.
That's
Maybe
why
I
like when you're able to go in the water and then you can do that gross thing where you can clear your nose so good underwater.
Oh, yeah.
I know
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gross when you're swimming with people, but tell me I'm wrong. You will never clear your nose better than when you do it underwater.
No, 100%. And you know what? I'll say this. Based on everything else that's in that water, I'm not even mad at it, but you gotta scoop and get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like if you...
Where do you put it if you're in the middle of the lake?
Oh, you just throw it. You just throw it fastball. Throw it towards the shore.
Becomes the next person's problem.
Then it becomes somebody else can deal
like the rest
with
of our garbage. Someone said, who's the greatest Olympian of all time? Michael Phelps, technically?
You know what? Because he's got the most medals, it's like 20-something or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I've mentioned this before, that I think that swimming's a little bit of like a medal factory. Like, it's not really fair.
They have so many events.
Right. Like, it's not possible for some of these other athletes to win as many medals as Phelps did, even if they are better. Maybe it's just the bias, but I will say I think it's still Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt.
I think the fastest man in the world is a title that means something.
Or even, who's that Canadian guy from the Vancouver Olympics that just chugged the beer after he won?
Oh, the guy who did the John Scott, I want to say. He did the skeleton, right?
Yeah,
he
the guy with the beard,
skeleton. Now he hosts the Canadian...
Amazing Race?
Amazing Race, that's
that guy,
it.
That guy is my favorite Olympian.
I don't know. You know what? Yeah, I'll put him up there.
I wouldn't say greatest, but that would be my favorite.
Put him on the Mount Rushmore of Olympians.
Someone said, would you agree that beach volleyball is the best Olympic event? I get where you're going with that, but no, I wouldn't. I know a lot of people are like, ooh, I like the women's beach volleyball, but I wouldn't even say that's the best Olympic event to watch.
No.
That's just the pervy one.
Right.
Handball, we've already talked about that. That is epic.
Handball's
and this
incredible.
climbing thing we've been watching all morning long.
Yeah, they're doing the speed climbing now, which like each race takes roughly 4 to 5 seconds. And it is just a pure adrenaline thrill ride of watching two grown men or women rocket up the side of a slanted wall.
I'll say this, parents, if you've got a kid that is all over the house and climbing up on things and you're scolding him all the time, cut that out.
Right.
Cut that out. You could have a future Olympian on your hands.
That could be a gold medalist in the future, and you're berating them. I will also say that I think that the trampoline events would be pretty sick to watch in person.
Yeah.
To just sit there and watch these people just fling themselves into the air.
It's crazy.
I would watch that for sure.
It's crazy. All right, we'll wrap it with a couple more here. You got one?
Let's see here. Someone says, I've already started reading it. Might as well.
What does it say?
Do you think that Dalby ate roast beef for breakfast when he smelled like roast beef that day?
There were so many beef ones, and I was trying to avoid them for your sake because you can get mad at me.
I thought it said something. For starters, the text that caught my eye said, "Can you please do mine?" I was like, oh, maybe this is like a kid or something. And then I started reading it, and once you do that, you just have to finish it. I don't eat beef for breakfast. I don't smell like roast beef. I hate my life.
Sound like a broken man.
I am so broken. In the span of a week, you have absolutely broken my spirit. Even yesterday, we went out to meet some listeners and like shake hands and stuff like that. And the first thing that they did was, "You don't smell like beef today." It's followed me around now.
I'd like to think that we've just changed your hygiene a little bit here in the past week.
My hygiene was fine before this.
Friends looking out for friends, man. That's all it is. And we're all friends here, okay?
Are you going to drive me to my next therapy session? Is that friends looking out for friends?
No, because I know you're going to talk about me. That's not right. I shouldn't be there. That's not right.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Sometimes on the show, we like to share things that have happened to us because they're funny or because they're interesting or just because they're a good story. Sometimes we like to share stuff with you because it can be a cautionary tale. I have to go and get a new bank card after the show today.
Did you lose it?
I did not lose it, but I lost control of it. I got a call yesterday from someone telling me that they worked for it. I'm not going to say the name of my bank, but that they worked for my bank in the fraud prevention department and that a charge had been put on hold on my account.
Oh, did you get got?
So somebody, according to this person, they said somebody from Calgary is using your card to try and buy something from Walmart.ca. And I was like, oh, that's super weird. Like, I'm usually very protective.
And this was your debit, not your credit card?
My debit card, but it's a Visa debit, so it can be used like a credit card online. But there was just something, it was like a 905 number, and of course, like, I'm on my cell phone, so as this guy's talking to me, I get him on speaker, I'm searching the number, it's just saying it's an Oshawa number, and I'm like, I don't think my bank is located in like the headquarters.
Sure, yeah.
He's like, oh, we didn't call from the 1-800 number because your area code wasn't working, and I have a Saskatchewan phone number.
He had an answer for everything.
He had an answer for everything, but not a good answer for everything. So finally, he was starting to tell me, he's like, we can shut your debit card down right now, make sure nobody can do anything with it. I just need to confirm some personal information with you. And I said, okay, hang on. All of this feels fishy. I will call the bank, the 1-800 number for my bank. I will ask for you. I was like, what's my case number? He's like, oh, we don't have one yet. Just ask. This is my name. Just ask for me. I was like, well, do you have an extension? He goes, it'll just put you through to fraud prevention.
So it
just
starts
ask for
seeming
me.
sketchier and sketchier. Yeah.
I call my bank. Sure enough, the whole thing's a scam. This guy calls me back, though, to try and he's, hey, one last shot. Maybe I can convince.
Scammer gonna scam.
I tell him, I'm like, buddy, I just called my bank. I know you're a scammer. I know you're just trying to get my information out of me. You got nothing. You're just a loser. Get out of here. And he goes, oh, I got nothing. And this man proceeds to hit me bar for bar with all 16 numbers of my debit card, the expiry date for the Visa portion, and the 3 numbers on the back.
Damn.
And I outwardly managed to keep up my tough guy facade and inwardly pooped in my pants. I called the bank back immediately. He was like, cancel my card. Cancel my card. They know my information.
Yeah.
And I was told, I was like, we use our credit cards and our...
How did he get your phone number?
That's the thing, man. All that stuff's out there. So those websites, whenever we hear about how websites had data breaches...
Yeah.
WestJet has a data breach. Well, they have my credit card on file.
Ticketmaster just had one, right?
Ticketmaster has my phone number on file. All these websites that you've ever put your information in, the woman from my bank who, walked me through everything, confirmed like my account has not been hacked or anything, we're okay. But I was like, how do they have my debit card? She's like, if you've ever bought anything online, even the most secure sites, someone's got your credit
Well, I have
card.
seen before that you should never save your credit card or anything like that in there.
Yeah, I got a lot of cards that I'm going to have to delete today, but I just thought I wanted to say this because we hear from OPP and different organizations all the time, like these scammers are getting better and better. It's not as easy to spot them. And if you're ever on a call with someone claiming to be anybody official and it feels fishy, bail. If it's a real company or a real organization or a real police officer, they'll find you.
It's terrible to say, but there's a small part of me that is impressed.
With the scammer?
Yeah, I mean, just how they go about doing these things. I could never wrap my brain around it. It's obviously a terrible thing, but there's a small part of it where it's impressive that they almost he was so close to having you.
Right. Oh, that's just it. He got a good 15 to 20 minutes out of me on the phone walking through, this is what happened. Let's get to the bottom of it. He named a couple online websites. He's like, do you shop at any of these? And I go, oh, damn, I did buy something off that. What's that? Temu site?
Yeah.
That was one of the ones he mentioned. I was like, oh, I bought a dumb pin for my kids off there.
Well, and sometimes when those people call you, I think they can get you because it all depends on your state of mind, what you're doing.
True.
I mean, hell, one time I woke up from a nap and I got an email from Canada Post saying, we just missed you for delivery.
Right.
And I punched in all my information. And then as soon as I hit it, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Damn. And that's just it. I mean, if it happens... I don't think you necessarily need to be embarrassed, ashamed, but you do need to take the steps to get in front of the scammers. But it is just an ever vigilant call. If it feels wrong, it's probably a scam.
Yeah.
And if we can stop one person from getting scammed by telling these stories on the air, then that's for the best. And also remember, if you ever see Brock and Dalby on Facebook offering you $1,000, that is 100% a scam.
Yeah, we're both too broke for that.
We'll never do that. So don't send us your credit card information.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.